92.9 Dave FM. Hi, it's Mara Davis, and hello, Matthew Sweet.
Hey.
So nice to see you.
Good to see you, too.
I've been excited to talk to you. You got a new record out called Sunshine Lies. You're at the Variety Playhouse tonight.
That's right.
You've been keeping busy, though, all this time.
Yeah, I've been doing so much stuff, but the last few weeks we've just been on tour, and it's been awesome to be out and seeing all the fans and stuff. We've been really surprised at our attendance and everything, because we didn't know what to expect, you know.
Do you think is coming to Atlanta a little bit of a homecoming for you?
It's totally homecoming, because my management's based here, Russell Carter, and you know, I went to school in Athens when I got out of high school, so I moved here from Nebraska when I was, you know, just out of high school. So it has very special memories for me.
And how was that culture shock, moving from Nebraska to Athens?
It was really different. You know, I'd never really been down south at all when I moved down here. I made one trip with my dad to sort of look at the school, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of like the whole Southern Gothic thing, really. You know, living in Athens, it was so hot and kind of everything hanging and all those amazing old houses and stuff. And the way everybody talked, you know, it was really exotic sort of at the time for me.
Right. So do you go back to Nebraska often?
I do, because my family's there.
Okay.
In fact, we played a show there at the beginning of this tour, which was also a little homecoming type scene.
I can imagine, because I bet the people in Nebraska get irritated that, you know, you say Athens is your home.
Well, yeah. I mean, I usually tell people I came from Nebraska anyway, because it's even more exotic.
It is exotic. Nebraska is exotic, don't you think?
Where?
So the record is out, Sunshine Lies. It's really, really great. There's one song in particular that reminds me, the second song on the album, which is called Room to Rock, reminds me so much of Tom Petty.
That's interesting. You know, you're only the second person brought up Tom Petty to me from it. I've heard Tom Petty. No one ever said I was like Tom Petty to me, I don't think. And then actually we're working on a second covers record, Susanna Hoffs and I. And we did a cover of Beast of Burden, the Rolling Stones song. And Rick, our drummer, Paul Chastain from the band, is here next to me for all of you out there in Radioland.
And I'm sorry I didn't introduce you,
No,
Paul.
no, that's okay. I would have done it anyway. But Rick said to me, "You sound like Tom Petty on Beast of Burden." I sort of used a live vocal, which we're still kind of using so far. But someone else said it to me in an interview like last week.
That's really weird, because the first time I heard it, that's the thing I thought
I love Tom Petty, you know.
Have you met him?
No, I haven't, actually. I know a lot of people who toured with him and stuff, but I never got to.
Okay, we're on with Matthew Sweet. I do want to ask about Susanna Hoffs. You've worked with her for a long time. Susanna Hoffs, you know, we know her, you know, from the Bangles. How did you meet her? How did you guys come together?
You know, I first met her, I believe, through my friend Fred Marr around the time we made Girlfriend. He was doing something for a movie with her or something. I remember I spoke to her on the phone then, because I was a fan of hers and he knew. And then I hooked up with her again in L.A. somehow when I moved out there in the early 90s, and she was coming to sing with me at an acoustic show at a place called McCabe's. That's like an acoustic guitar shop in Santa Monica that they have this little 100-person room where you do shows. And she came out to the show, and she invited Mike Myers, who was a friend of hers at the time, and this is right when he was, I guess, writing the first Austin Powers movie. So that was when I really got to know her. We did stuff with Mike for the Austin Powers movie, and then a few years ago, I went to sing with the Bangles at the same place at a sort of benefit thing for schools, and I said to Susanna, "God, I'd love to record you or, like, you know, produce you." And she happened to have been talking to these guys at Shout Factory, which is our label and the label for my record as well now. And they really wanted us to do a covers record, like some sort of novelty thing together.
Okay.
And so we thought, that's great, you know, we'll make it in my house and it'll be just for fun, you know. And it really was just for fun, and we were really surprised how much people seemed to like it. And they picked up our option, and now we have a 70s one that's going to be done the end of this year, and probably coming out in the spring.
And that's great. It's funny to hear you say, you know, you're a big fan of the Bangles, so were you walking like an Egyptian and Manic Monday? I mean,
well, you know, I knew them even earlier. You know, I was really into this record Susanna made with, I believe, one of her boyfriends, a guy named David Roback. they were all in this sort of scene in L.A. they call the Paisley Underground. They called it then, with groups like the
Okay.
3 O'Clock and all these people. And she was on a record called, I think it's Rainy Day.
Rainy Day.
I get it confused with that
That was
Jan
a
and
great
Dean record, Save for a Rainy Day, which is an amazing, obscure record. But on Rainy Day, she sang a couple solo songs. They were
Okay.
covers, and one of them was a Dylan song called I'll Keep It With Mine. And I didn't know the song because I don't know that it had ever been released, his version at that time. But I was really obsessed with her voice. I always really liked her voice. And it's funny because we so get along, and more and more we will like double each other on the records, and sometimes we don't even know like who's doing what.
Well, you two are a very, very good combo. We're on with Matthew Sweet. She helps you out and does some backup singing on the new record.
She sings on one song, a song called Sunshine Lies, the title track.
Okay.
She and my wife Lisa together did the voice of the sun, basically on the song, and it's great. We've been having our opening band, the Bridges, who are all these girls that sing harmony together. They've been coming out and doing the sun on that, and they sang on I've Been Waiting last night, and
Love that.
we're going to try and get them to dance to Girlfriend tonight.
Okay, well, Matthew Sweet performing at the Variety Playhouse tonight.